Let's see. Does anybody have any questions so far? Yes, which question?
There's another one that says after reading the newspaper. What was that even do?
Okay, now I just talked about the newspaper thing. Some of you had seen or there's a question there about the newspaper. Okay, but we're not, not everybody is finished, and so we all need to get to a certain point before we can work on that part. And so until we get to this, until we finish this part, we'll work on the other part later. And so I'll give you time later on to work on this. But for right now, we're going to show you, once you do get it all finished, how to hand it in to me, okay? And Mrs. Hamburger is going to show you how to do that.
Okay, so remember when we do anything in Google, it's automatically saved. So everything you've done so far is saved. There is no save button. It's all in there for you, okay? And so like Mrs. Nuzzo was just saying, there is a few more parts to this activity. There's a newspaper article that goes along with the activity that maybe you'll do tomorrow or later this week. And then there might even be some of you that still need to finish today's part of the activity. Maybe some of you still need to finish the budget, or you still need to finish your sentence explaining the changes you made. That's okay. That's the great thing about Google. You can always get back in and keep working. You can always get back in and make changes. But for now, I'm going to show you something new. This is different from the last time we made Google Slides for your rocks and minerals. And this is different from the time that you typed the paragraph about the pigs and the wolf. Okay? This is brand new, a brand new way to turn your work into Mrs. Nuzzo. And we're all going to do it even if you're not finished. Okay? Everybody's going to go to the top right corner of your screen where it says share, the blue rectangle that says share. Click on that for me. And this should look familiar to you. Usually we type in Mrs. Nuzzo's email address, but this time we're not. We're doing something different. This time, I want you to click on the word advanced. It's in gray in the bottom right corner. Click on advanced. And now, the word change is in blue. Find the word change. It's on the right side. Click the word change in blue.
Sharing.
Did you click on change? Yeah. Good. Anything yet? Okay, good. All right. Click change. Okay, good.
All right. So now you have a new list of options. Okay? And we want it to say on anyone with the link,
Which is the second one?
which is the second
Yes,
one.
so the second
Okay?
one down.
So the second one down, you're going to click the little circle next to the one that says on, anyone with the link.
So you're going to fill in that bullet, that dot.
And then you're going to click the blue save box.
And then you're going to click the save.
And then you're going to click done. So this time we're not typing Mrs. Nuzzo's email address.
Did we just send it?
So now you're back looking at your budget. You're back looking at your project. Okay, is there anybody not back to looking at their project? Okay. Now, I need you to go to the bottom of your screen again and click the red M. You're going to go back to your email for a minute. Okay? And you need to go back to your inbox. So find inbox in red on the left. Okay? And now I want you to open the email with the subject turn inbox.
And it says P Nuzzo, turn inbox. All right.
Right.
Once you click on that, just hold on a minute.
Okay.
Anything else? You can choose or turn in box.
Turn in box. Turn in box, the email. Yep.
It's there.
Yep. Back in your inbox, P Newso, turn in box, and it looks like this. Okay. I need you to type your first name in the box, your last name in the box, and then stop. Hands in your lap.
Okay. Your first name. And your last name. You're done.
I'm looking for everybody's hands in their lap. Go ahead and do this part. Okay. Now, I want hands to stay in your lap. It's my turn. I'm going to show you about 3 steps, and then when I'm all done, it will be your turn. And I will tell you when it's your turn. Right? So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go back to your budget. So Mrs. Newso, if you do copy of food budget for me, that was my budget. And you're going to look at the tabs across the top and go back to your budget. Click so you can see your budget. If you look at your tabs across the top, you'll find yours. All right, now hands off while you watch these steps. And I'll tell you when it's your turn. Okay?
Here, son.
We're going to copy the whole URL up here by clicking on it. Right, and then remember we use 2 fingers on the Chromebook to do a right click. Not yet. Not yet. Right? Once you do 2 fingers on it, not yet, you'll get this box. And you're going to copy, and that's going to copy this long URL for you so you don't have to memorize it or write it or type it. Okay? And then you're going to go back to your email. So you've got to look across the top of the screen. You're going to go back to your email. You're going to do 2 fingers again to right-click in this project URL box, and you're going to paste. And it's going to put the whole thing in there for you. Okay? Now remember how long it was? It was super duper long. My box is small, so you can't see it all in there, but it's all in there. Okay? And once you see your first name, your last name, and a piece of that long URL, you're going to click Submit. Okay? Now don't do it yet. Not your turn. Oscar, not your turn. When you do it and you click Submit, it's all going to come up in one big list. And you'll be able to see your URL pop up on a list for Mrs. Newso. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Mrs. Newso come sign in.
Alright.
And we're going to see her list. So right now, before we start, everybody should be looking at their budget. Okay? And you can do this part too. Okay?
Okay,
Even though
so-
you didn't have the share button, you're going to do these steps too. Okay? So, while Mrs. Newso's logging into her email, here we go. Everybody, use your finger, get up to the URL at the top of your budget, and then do 2 fingers to right click. It's your turn. Copy the whole thing, or you can do Control-C if you're comfortable with that.
We talked about Control-C, we're good.
Okay?
Because we did Control.
And then go back to your mail. No big deal. Are you Ava? All right, type your last name, Ava. We'll catch you up. Yep, and now to your copy. Good. Now go back to your mail. Did you copy it already? You want to copy the budget. There you go. You copied it.
Did you get it?
Okay.
Now
Now go back to your box.
Did you get it copied in there?
Okay. Okay.
You skipped our
So did you copy it? So they went on there.
This is not the right
Put it in there.
It'll be
Okay.
for
Let's play. Now, Control
It's not right. Come in.
C. Remember I told you Control B? You know, Mrs. Hammaker, I think for us, Control P, Control V, paste. It's for now. I think we're gonna try to stick with that.
Okay. Sure.
You need something, honey?
So on your budget,
You what? No, we need to.
Control C and copy. No,
I need to get through
Control and C at the same time. Have your hands. Okay. Now do Control C.
That's okay. So there it is. So you remember I told you Control C copies it, okay? And then we're gonna go back to. Ooh, where's
Control C.
what happened to your box?
Wait.
Oh my god.
Turn it back. Turn it back. Maybe hang. Well, I don't know what happened. Right now, we're gonna go here. So we're gonna control.
Oh gosh.
Okay?
No, like without the scroll. Without the scroll bar, look at this.
Alright, so now, you know, I the two fingers, I just find it really hard because that word.
Okay.
Copy and paste.
Okay.
CD,
Did you paste?
Go back there.
C, control, copy and paste.
And you can say okay.
Just say on the phone.
Once you paste it in, click review and submit. It'll ask you if you're sure and say okay.
This is the coolest part.
Right? And then, here's how you can check, did Mrs. Nuzzo get my work? What you'll notice, here's your names, and here's your link. Okay? Is this you, sweetie? You're Allison?
How do I see happy?
Right here. Right here. Okay.
Okay? Did you do this, honey? Did you? Now, remember when this doesn't have to be right. I just need you to know how to stand it. Go in the turning box. 2 hands, honey. And then go over here and submit. And say, okay. And we're good. Okay. Now, everybody should be at the turning box. It should just say turning box and a square. That's it. I think we're good.
Okay, so Mrs. Nuzzo, this is a fast way for you to check then, if you want to go and scroll through and see if you're missing, you know how many students you have today.
23 today, so that's, it looks like there's 23. There's something there.
Okay.
Can anyone
And
submit
so-
twice?
Listen up, listen up.
Right, and so now, what Mrs. Nuzzo can do, instead of us always sending your project to her through an email, now what she can do is she can look, here's Devin's, she can click on it,
And I can see his budget.
and she can
There it
see
is.
Devin's budget.
And his answers, too.
Okay,
No,
and his
the
answers.
budget was not correct, see?
And if Devin gets back with his group tomorrow to do the newspaper part that he was asking about, he doesn't have to send it again. It will automatically save the next part, and Mrs. Nuzzo will be able to click on the link again, and she'll be able to see the rest of his work.
Okay, so you don't have to keep
Okay.
going to that form and hitting submit. Does everybody understand that? We did it once, so it's there. So now any changes you make to your budget is going to automatically go to me. Okay, and so if we do any other things like that, or if you do something like this next year, it's the same thing. So once you turn in that form, that's it.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Now, it's just about time to go, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, there is a proper way to get out of your Chromebooks so that The next students that use it are not in your business. So here we go.
All right, let's
You
see.
are on the screen that says turn in box. Look across the top, find the red M, so we're in your mail again. Click on your mail. Now that you're in your mail, go to the top right corner, find your email address. Some of you are already doing it. Looks like you remember from last time. Click on your email address and click sign out.
Okay. Good, and then you're gonna sign out.
That's okay.
Awesome.
And now go to the tabs across the top, find the one that says copy of your budget. Yep. Find the one that says copy of your budget.
And then close it out, close it out.
Not yet.
Okay.
Hold on, we want to make sure we sign out of everything. Hands down for me. Okay. Now, you should be back on the copy of your budget. Go across the top, find your budget. There, your email address is at the top of that one. Click on that one and sign out. You want to make sure you sign out of everything. So go back to your budget.
It says signed out. You haven't signed out. You must sign in again to say changes to this file.
Okay. Now, if it says you signed out, that's good. That's what we want to see. Now you can X out of everything. So go through those tabs, X them all out.
Whoa, I just had to
Okay. And then,
Yep, we're gonna sign out.
sign out. X out.
and then, when you get back to the black and gray screen, can I borrow yours for a minute? When you get back to the black and gray screen, are we done?
No.
Are we done when we get to this?
No.
No! People will still have access to your work. Go to the picture in the bottom right corner. Click the picture and then sign out. Thank you. Okay. Now, when you see this screen, are you done and ready to close?
Yes.
Yes. Once you see this screen, we're not going to turn it off. We're just going to close and let it sleep.
All right, we have just a few minutes to go to art.
Art is open. No, it's not.
Nope, she said we can come down just for a few minutes, okay?
It's too hot.
Okay,